Welcome to our workshop on program quality. My name is Andrew Klein. I work for the Illinois State Board of Education as the principal consultant for agricultural education. And the first thing that we want to do before we jump into this workshop is we want to define what program quality really means. And when it comes to agricultural education programs, you all know, just like I do, that this can be a complicated definition, because depending on the local priorities and what your students or your administrators or your community members are excited about, quality can take on a different meaning. So how do we create a standard assessment for quality? Well, for that, we use our incentive funding grant quality indicator application. And that's what I want to draw your attention to here. If you'll allow me a moment, I will share my screen. So what you should be able to see on the screen now is the fiscal year 22. So for this upcoming fiscal year, quality indicator preview document that we released back in March. And what you're looking at actually is the scoring summary, which is at the end of the document. You might find strange, why do I want to start at the end? Well, because before we get into the nitty-gritty details of every single component of this application, first I just want to start big picture. In this application, big picture, and when we go to define program quality, big picture, the first thing we do is define our 8 goal areas. So currently we utilize 8 unique goal areas to kind of define program quality, and they are listed on the screen here. You'll see that each one of them has a maximum points possible, and these points are actually built using more specific and targeted quality indicators within each of the goal areas. But here are the goal areas just for your reference. Goal number 1, qualified agricultural education teacher, which relates to the hiring and staffing of the agricultural education department. Goal number 2, student support services. Goal number 3, instructional programs, which has to do with the courses you offer, the sequences, and the standards that you utilize. Goal number 4 is supervised agricultural experiences. Goal 5 is agricultural student organizations, predominantly FFA. Goal 6, facilities, equipment, and supplies. Goal 7, an agricultural advisory council. Goal 8, an agricultural literacy initiative, which also in this particular application includes middle school agricultural education opportunities. So when we look at ag literacy, we're looking at the whole scope, pre-K through 12th grade, with the exception of those that are in a school-based agricultural education program at the 9th through 12th grade level. Okay, so if these are our 8 goals, within each of these goals, to more further and more clearly define program quality, what we do, as you may know, is we outline very specific quality indicators. So I'll take you back to the top of this document, and we'll start just with goal 1, qualified agricultural education teacher. Now, before you can score points, so to speak, in each of the goals, you have to first meet a minimum standard. Now, the minimum standards are achievable by all agricultural education programs, but they are what we consider the minimum in that particular area before you can start actually earning quality indicator points. So the minimum standard here is that the agricultural education teacher for that particular program that's completing this application either has a professional educator license or an educator license with stipulations from the Illinois State Board of Education. So that is the minimum standard here. Once you achieve that minimum standard, then you can move on to scoring quality indicator points, and the quality indicators, as you can see, are more clearly and specifically defined here. So you see 1.1, meaning goal 1, quality indicator 1, professional memberships and affiliations. So here the agricultural education teacher is a member of IVAT, that's worth 3 points. If the ag ed teacher holds an active membership in any other organization, that's worth an additional point. And we ask that you specify the organization name. So you can kind of see how these would go. Now, quality, holistic quality, meaning that we've tried to capture every single facet of an agricultural education program on this quality indicator application. We've tried to incentivize programs to pursue quality, however they might define it, and then reward them in some way on this application. And the particular point distribution is somewhat based on the measure of quality that we feel is added to a program based on each component, or maybe the time and resources it takes to achieve a certain component. The last thing I want to draw your attention to on this application is that not all quality indicators are created equal. And by that, I mean some of them have more or less quality indicator points assigned. Some of them also have maximum points allowed in certain areas. A big one I like to point people's attention to, and this would be in goal number 5, agricultural student organizations. I'm sorry, in goal 3, actually, in instructional programs. We list our career recruitment and development activities, or what you probably know as CDEs, or your career development events you take students to. There are over 25 unique CDEs and LDEs that FFA members can participate in and teachers can advise and coach students through. But we will not award 25 or as many points as you go to different CDEs. So you'll notice that there's actually 7 points maximum here under career development events. Now this, for a variety of reasons, and actually I'd ask that you discuss that in your small groups during this upcoming discussion time. But I did want to draw that to your attention that not all quality indicator points are created equal. So if you've already participated in 7 different career development events throughout the year, you won't receive an additional quality indicator point, for example, for achieving another one. And not that that should be your only consideration, but there are other facets of this application that may max out at certain thresholds, so to speak. So keep that in mind as you explore the idea of program quality today. It is multifaceted. Defining quality in an agricultural education program is a tough task. And very much should be based on local needs and what your students and your administrators feel is appropriate for the program. But this application is a good first step in trying to create a standardized way to assess programs from across the state. So with that, that is how we in Illinois define agricultural education program quality. And we use this particular application to incentivize you to improve the quality of your program, as the more points you score, the more grant money you will receive through the incentive funding grant program. Thank you very much for your time today. I do appreciate it, and have fun in your workshop.